My ex-wife used me for a green card. So I got her deported on our anniversary. Once the paperwork's done, I'm gone, she said. So I waited, smiled, and made sure she was on a one-way flight out of the country. You know that moment when your heart doesn't break, it just stops? Like your brain hasn't caught up yet, and your body is sitting there frozen, trying to figure out what the hell just happened? Yeah, that was me. Sitting in my dim little home office at 1:17 a.m. on a Wednesday night. Pizza grease on my fingers, Excel sheet open on one screen, and a glowing iPad sitting next to me. The iPad wasn't mine. It was hers. My wife's. Normally, I wouldn't even touch it. I'm not the snooping type. But the thing just lit up. Bright notification bar. One of those preview bubbles popped up, and I saw just enough to stop breathing. It was a message from some WhatsApp group titled, Green Card Queens United States. I remember blinking, thinking, that can't be what I think it is. So I tapped it. And everything I thought I knew about my marriage shattered in about 6 seconds. The message that just came in read, mission almost complete. Just gotta keep him sweet for a few more weeks. Green card should be locked in by the end of the month, LOL. From my wife. Sent 2 minutes ago. To a group of 5 other women, apparently all bragging about faking relationships with American guys for visas. My stomach dropped so hard I thought I was gonna pass out. I kept reading. More messages from her. Dozens. Scrolling back through the chat felt like slowly peeling my skin off. I swear, if I have to sleep with this guy one more time, I'm gonna barf. But hey, that's the price of freedom, right? The poor guy actually thinks we're gonna start a family once this is all done. LMFAO. I've already got a real man. He just can't help me legally. I was sick. Physically sick. I had to stand up and lean on the chair to breathe. I walked around the room like a ghost, like I was trying to float above my own life. This was my wife. My wife. The woman I met at a university mixer 5 years ago. The one I thought was different. The one I helped through every step of her visa process. Who I supported financially, emotionally, legally, you name it. She was calling me her backup plan. Her safety net. Her visa daddy. She actually wrote that. Visa daddy. Like I was some sugar daddy she could toss out once her citizenship was stamped. One of her friends even asked, "Don't you feel bad for him at all?" You know what she said? "It's not personal. It's just survival. And he's too boring to notice anyway." Too boring to notice. I just stared at that screen, and in that moment, everything in me went dark. And the scariest part? I didn't feel pain. Not yet. I didn't cry. Didn't yell. Didn't rage. I felt cold. Like something inside me shut off. She came out of the shower a few minutes later, towel on her head, humming some stupid pop song, completely unaware her entire life was about to implode. She saw me sitting at the desk and said, "Hey babe, why are you still up?" I looked up, smiled at her, and said, "Just catching up on some emails." Then I asked if she wanted me to warm up some food for her. She said, "You're too sweet," and kissed me on the cheek. And I smiled again, because right then, in that exact moment, I made a decision. I wasn't going to confront her. I wasn't going to yell, or ask questions, or give her a chance to lie. I wasn't going to let her see it coming. Instead, I was going to let her finish the job. Let her think she won. Let her believe she pulled it off. And then, I was going to burn her entire world to the ground. But not in some messy, emotional, scream-at-each-other way. No, I was going to destroy her legally, silently, effortlessly. And I was going to make sure the last words she ever heard from me weren't, "I loved you," or "Why." They were going to be, "Happy anniversary." I didn't sleep that night. After reading those messages, I just sat there in the living room, lights off, phone in my hand, scrolling through old pictures of us. Not because I missed her, not because I had hope, but because I was trying to understand what the hell just happened, what I missed, where it all started. So let me back up and tell you who this woman was. Or at least, who I thought she was. We met in the most average way you can imagine. College campus, spring semester, international student mixer. I went because a buddy of mine forced me to. I wasn't the party guy. I wasn't trying to pull. I was just going through the motions. And then there she was. Sophia. She was standing near the food table, holding a paper plate like it was made of gold, laughing about how bland American pasta was. She had this effortless confidence. A weird blend of sarcasm and warmth. She didn't flirt. She just clicked with people. We started talking about music, then travel, then food, then politics, and I remember being surprised she even cared about that stuff. She said, If you want to survive in America, you better know what the hell is going on. I thought that was smart. No, I thought she was smart. By the end of the night, we had swapped numbers and Instagram handles. And within a week, we were inseparable. Sophia told me she was from Eastern Europe. I won't name the country, because I'm not trying to have this story turn into a geopolitical mess. She said she came from a working-class family, grew up rough, and worked her butt off to get into a U.S. college. She made it sound like she was fighting for a better life. Like this place meant something to her. And me? I was the soft, nerdy American guy with decent credit, a stable job, and a bad habit of thinking I could fix people. So when she vented about homesickness or money stress or visa anxiety, I leaned in. I helped, paid for her textbooks, gave her rides to appointments, stayed up late helping her study for exams. I didn't see it as simping. I saw it as love. She used to say things like, "I've never felt this safe with someone. You make me believe not all men are trash. I want to build a life here. With you." The thing is, she was good. Too good. She didn't just manipulate me emotionally. She mirrored me. She took my dreams, my values, my sense of humor, and reflected them back at me. She made me feel like we were aligned. Like we wanted the same future. We moved in together 8 months after we met. She said, "If I'm going to be with you, I want to be with you." Not halfway. It felt bold, passionate, real. Then she started talking about marriage. Not in a pushy way, at least, not at first. She played it cool. Said she'd never rush a man. That love should be patient. But every now and then, she'd casually say things like, "If we got married, maybe my student visa stress would go away. You know, my parents would love you if you ever visited. It's crazy how getting married here makes everything so simple." And like an idiot, I bought it. I thought, maybe it's fate. Maybe she's the one. So I proposed. Small backyard moment. Just us. Cheap ring. Happy tears. She said yes before I even finished the sentence. And for a little while, it actually felt real. But looking back, that wasn't joy in her eyes. It was relief. Now, I see it all clearly. The way she subtly pulled me away from my family. The way she controlled the finances, insisting we save everything in her account because it would look better for the green card interview. The way she never once introduced me to her family, not even on FaceTime, and claimed it was because of bad Wi-Fi back home. Hell, even our wedding was a red flag. She didn't want a big ceremony. Said it would be too expensive. What she really meant was, she didn't want her real boyfriend seeing pictures online. And I didn't know any of that. Not then. Because when you're in love with a lie, it doesn't matter how smart you are, you're blind. But now I'm wide awake. And I'm done being her puppet. She wanted a green card? She should have played nice. Because I'm not just going to end this marriage. I'm going to end her stay in this country. Permanently. There's this moment, after you get burned so badly by someone, where your brain just detaches. You stop hoping they'll change. You stop wondering why. You stop crying. You just get cold. Focused. Clean. And that's where I was. Completely clear. I wasn't going to scream or flip a table or have some big confrontation where I ask her why she did it. I didn't need the performance. What I needed was a plan. Because if she was playing a long con, then so was I. And I was going to win. First thing I did, backups. I took screenshots of every single message in that WhatsApp group. All the trash she talked. All the jokes about her green card mission. The messages to her friends, to her side guy. Her laughing about how dumb I was. The Visa Daddy meme. Everything. I uploaded it to 3 separate clouds. Encrypted folders. Password-protected zips. I even printed hard copies and stuck them in a fireproof box at my brother's house. Paranoid? Sure. But I wasn't letting this slip. Then I checked her computer. She was sloppy. Emails to immigration lawyers. Application drafts. Proof she was tracking all the steps like a checklist. Hell, she had a folder literally titled Plan B Marriage Docs. Like I was just a backup USB drive for her American dream. There was even a budget spreadsheet for what she thought she'd get out of the divorce. Half my savings, alimony, maybe a chunk of the condo value once I sold. She had it all mapped out. Step 2, legal prep. I found an immigration fraud lawyer online. Discreet guy, works mostly with employers who suspect their staff are faking papers. Told him the whole story. He said, "You have enough to open an investigation yesterday." He explained how this works. Marriage fraud is a federal offense. If she got her green card through deception, knowingly entering a marriage just for legal status, it could trigger removal proceedings, fines, even jail time, depending on the case. And I wasn't going to just send ICE goons to the house unannounced. No, I wanted to build the case, document it, submit everything officially in the cleanest, most brutal way possible. We started assembling a file, 80+ pages, screenshots, statements, timeline, proof she never intended to build a life with me. Messages where she said, "Once the paperwork's through, I'm gone." My lawyer said, "This is one of the most airtight fraud packages I've seen. When this hits, it's not going to be a slap on the wrist." Exactly what I wanted. Step 3. Keep her blind. For weeks, I acted normal. Smiling, cooking dinner, taking her to the DMV. I even bought her a small gift when she passed a portion of her immigration process. A necklace she had pointed out once in a store window. She smiled and said, "You're such a good man." And I just smiled back, thinking, you have no idea what's coming. She kept texting her side guy, who, by the way, turned out to be married too. Name's Jake, works in tech, drives a leased BMW and thinks he's a high-value male because he quotes Andrew Tate and listens to finance podcasts at the gym. I found his social, found his wife's LinkedIn. Let's just say she and I became pen pals. But that's a whole separate arc. Back to Sophia. She was still planning to leave me. Still convinced I was clueless. Still dropping hints like, once all this immigration stuff is finally done, I think I need to take a solo trip. Just clear my head. Sure you do. Step 4. Pick the date. I didn't want to drop the hammer randomly. No. It had to be symbolic. It had to mean something. So I chose our anniversary. The same day I proposed to her 3 years ago. The same day I thought I found a partner for life. That's the day she would lose everything. The day she'd expect a fancy dinner, maybe a surprise getaway, or even a push gift for the green card she thought she secured. Instead, she was going to get an envelope, a flash drive, and a knock on the door from the people she thought were too dumb or too overworked to ever catch her. The countdown had started. She had no clue. Every day, she kissed me goodbye while I was actively planning her deportation. She called me babe, while joking to her friends about never having to see me again after her visa was finalized. And every night, while she scrolled on her phone and flirted with her affair partner in plain sight, I was fine-tuning the last page of the report that would get her thrown on a plane back to her home country. No warning, no goodbye, just cold steel and customs agents. She thought she was playing the game, but she forgot one thing. I was the one writing the rules. So the day finally came. Our 3rd wedding anniversary. The day she thought she'd won. The day she probably thought she'd get one last grand romantic gesture before she ghosted me and moved into her affair partner's bachelor pad with fresh legal status. And oh, she was in a good mood. She woke up humming, came into the kitchen in one of my shirts like we were some kind of loving couple, made me coffee. She kissed me and said, 3 years. Can you believe it? You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. I almost laughed, but I just smiled and said, big night tonight. She nodded like a kid on Christmas morning. What should I wear? She asked. I told her, something classy. I'd made a reservation at this gorgeous rooftop restaurant. City skyline, candlelight tables, live jazz, overpriced food, and an even more overpriced wine list. The kind of place you go to make someone feel special. Or, in my case, invincible. Because this wasn't just a dinner. This was the stage. I picked her up at 7 p.m. sharp. She walked out in this deep green dress that, months ago, would have taken my breath away. Now, it just made it easier for the security detail to identify her. I told her she looked beautiful. She beamed. I opened her door, let her sit, drove her across the city, holding her hand at red lights while the ICE agents I'd been working with waited for the signal. At the restaurant, I was calm. Too calm. Like someone who knew exactly how the night would end. She was drinking wine, laughing, flirting like she actually still thought I was her sweet, stupid American husband. And then, after dessert, I handed her a little black gift box. She gasped, thinking it was jewelry. She opened it. Inside was a small silver flash drive. At first, she blinked like she didn't get it. Then I said, everything you've said, everything you've done, all of it's on there. She went pale. I didn't raise my voice. Didn't cuss. Didn't accuse. I just kept my tone calm. Dead calm. Every message in the group chat. Every photo you sent your little boyfriend. Every document you forged. Every time you said you were going to dump me once the green card hit. I've got it all. She tried to play dumb. What are you talking about? Are you okay? I leaned forward, looked her right in the eye. I know everything, Sophia. Every lie. Every detail. And it's already in the hands of the immigration department. Her face just broke. That performative confidence, gone. Her voice cracked. You don't understand. It's not like that. I didn't mean. I cut her off. You don't need to explain. I'm not the one you'll be talking to. Right then, two men in dark suits walked into the restaurant. ICE officers. Civilian clothed. Discreet, but unmistakable once you knew what to look for. She followed my gaze, turned to see them, and I swear to God, she nearly passed out. She looked back at me, eyes wide, hands shaking. You set me up. No, I said. You set yourself up. I just helped you finish the job. Then I stood up, kissed her on the cheek, and whispered, Happy anniversary. They walked her out right there. Didn't make a scene. She was too shocked to scream. Some of the diners looked confused. One or two glanced at me like they thought I was the bad guy. Let them think that. I paid the bill, tipped heavy, finished her wine, and walked out into the city like nothing happened. Because for me, the relationship had ended weeks ago. This was just the final act. She spent the next 72 hours in holding while they reviewed the case. She denied everything at first, but the flash drive, the hard copies, the printed emails, the screenshots, the fact that I had messages from her telling people it was a fake marriage, it was enough. And I wasn't done yet. The real man she was cheating with? His wife got an anonymous envelope the same night. With pictures, texts, hotel receipts. His life went up in flames too. Sophia's parents called me, crying, furious, begging me to retract the complaint. They said I was ruining her life. I said, she ruined mine first. Now I'm just making the score even. The first 48 hours after they took her felt quiet, not peaceful, not satisfying, just still. It's a strange thing to watch someone's life collapse while you sip coffee and respond to work emails like it's any other day. That night, I went home alone. Her toothbrush was still in the holder. Her robe was hanging on the bathroom door. The stupid gold slippers she wore were by the bed. I didn't touch any of it. I just sat on the couch, phone in my hand, waiting for the fallout to start. And it didn't take long. The first message came around noon the next day. Blocked number. A voicemail. Her voice. Please just talk to me. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was scared, okay? I made a mistake. You don't have to do this. Delete. Then another. Ethan, they're saying I could be deported. Please. I don't have anyone here. Don't throw away everything we had. Oh, now we had something? Now it was real? Funny how fast the green card queen turned into a desperate, cornered mess once the reality hit. Then came the guilt play. She started telling people I was abusive, that I'd always controlled her, that she never really felt safe in the relationship. Yeah, that's the move now. She couldn't deny the evidence. It was rock solid. So instead, she pivoted to victimhood. Tried to paint herself as a poor immigrant woman who got manipulated by her evil husband. She told her friends I fabricated the texts, that I'd hacked her phone, that I was crazy and jealous and couldn't handle a strong woman. Meanwhile, I was forwarding her entire file to immigration lawyers, fraud investigators, and even a couple of watchdog agencies that monitor marriage scams. Let her talk. I wasn't arguing. I was filing paperwork. She was held for a week. Then she was released on bond while the deportation hearing was scheduled. And during that time, she came crawling. Flowers delivered to my house. Handwritten letters. Emails. Voicemails. Texts from unknown numbers. Friends messaging me. Even her lawyer tried to reach out with a settlement offer if I withdrew the complaint. I never responded. Not once. Because I wanted her to understand something. This wasn't about a broken heart. This wasn't about revenge. This was justice. She broke federal law. She lied under oath. She used me, publicly mocked me, and bragged about her scam to a group chat full of co-conspirators. And now she was facing the consequences. Not because I was cruel. Because I was done being her fool. The deportation hearing came 6 weeks later. She showed up dressed like she was headed to church. Hair tied back. No makeup. Sad eyes. Shaky voice. All an act. She claimed the messages were taken out of context. Said her friends were just joking. Said I misunderstood everything and was taking it too far because of hurt feelings. But the judge didn't care about her sad voice. He cared about the timeline. The group chat. The emails. The voice recordings. The matching IP logs. The duplicate files pulled from her own devices. Her side guy, Jake, refused to testify. Ghosted her entirely. Her lawyer tried to argue entrapment, said I'd tricked her into committing fraud. The judge asked, "So you're saying he tricked you into entering a fake marriage?" Silence. It was over. The ruling came 2 weeks later. Her green card application? Revoked. Her immigration status? Terminated. The fraud charge? Upheld. Penalty? Immediate removal from the country with a 10-year ban on reentry. She sent me one last message the night before her flight. "You ruined my life." I didn't reply, because what I wanted to say was, "You never had a life here to begin with. You were just renting mine." And then, she was gone. I didn't celebrate. When she left the country, I didn't go out for drinks. Didn't throw a party. Didn't text the group chat, because I didn't have one. I just stood in my kitchen that morning, drinking cold coffee, watching the sunlight hit the tile like it always did. Same chair. Same clock ticking on the wall. But everything was different. She was gone. Not just out of my house. Out of my life. Out of my country. I'd be lying if I said I felt victorious. It wasn't joy. It wasn't satisfaction. It was just stillness. After months of chaos, lies, manipulation, and hidden war, everything went quiet. No more acting. No more pretending. No more brushing past her in the hallway, pretending I didn't know she was planning to walk away with my name and my bank account. It was over. I cleaned out the house over the next few days. Donated her clothes. Deleted the photos. Got rid of her weird imported teas and face creams and whatever else she left behind. That robe on the door? Gone. I even threw out the slippers. I didn't need souvenirs. Not from someone who looked me in the eyes, kissed me, and thought he's so easy to fool. Some people asked me if I'd ever date again. Eventually, yeah, but not right away. Right now, I'm dating peace. I'm dating quiet Sunday mornings and 8 hours of sleep and not being lied to in my own bed. I took time off work, traveled a little, talked to my family more. I started journaling. Not because I'm that deep, but because I needed to remind myself what was real again. What was mine. What I chose, not what I was tricked into carrying. I never posted about it publicly. Never named her. Never tried to cancel her. Because the truth? I didn't need an audience. I didn't need validation. She had the spotlight when she was mocking me behind my back. When she was calling me Visa Daddy and laughing about how dumb I was. Now she has silence. And a permanent note in her immigration file. People like her think they're untouchable. They think the system's too slow, the guys they trick are too weak, too boring, too soft to fight back. But boring guys? We're the dangerous ones. We don't explode. We document. We sit in silence. We play dumb. We give you rope. And when the time is right, we let you hang yourself with it. I'm not proud of what I had to do, but I'm not ashamed either. She wanted to turn our marriage into a transaction, so I gave her the receipt. And now, I wake up every morning knowing that she's gone, and I never have to fake a smile again. And that, my friend, is freedom.